Hello everyone, Pallytime here with TGN.TV. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit more Final Fantasy XI and really make comparisons with some of the systems that are also in place in Final Fantasy XIV. So this will be good for those of you who want to see more of what I did in this game, but also good for you who want more information about Final Fantasy XIV. How the fuck is this Taru like levitating? That's weird. So we're in Sandoria today, and it is completely abandoned, and it's really, really strange to see that. It's just completely... Like, I remember when I started playing, this was just filled full of people. You could barely get up to the auction counter. It's really odd. Really, really, really odd to see it so bleak and deserted, but this game's been out 11 years. You know, it's a good game. But its population is certainly starting to dwindle at this point. I know they've done a lot of server merges, and I think they're going to need to do some more soon. Which makes me sad. This is a good game. I don't want it to die. That being said, I'm not going to play it much longer, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But in today's video, I wanted to specifically talk about the job system that is in Final Fantasy XI, and also the job system, or the class system, I guess I should say, that's going to be in Final Fantasy XIV. Because they're similar in a lot of ways. So I guess I should point out that I'm a Galka because of a mod. So don't worry about that. This is the same character. So in 14, right now, I am a level 72 summoner and a level 26 black mage. Summoner is my main job, and black mage is my support job. Your support job is always half the level of your main job, and you get all of the skills and traits that your sub-job has. So it's a cool system. It definitely works. It takes a lot of time to really get some of the cool stuff. But if I wanted to change my job at any time, all I need to do is go back to the Mog House. And at the Mog House, you have access to the Moogle. And that Moogle, he's a really stand-up guy. He'll let you change your job to anything that you have unlocked. Now, there are a ton of advanced jobs in this game. Summoner is one of them. It took a lot of time for me to unlock my Summoner, and I can't wait to get it to 75. I'm so close. I'm 74.5 right now. I'm just waiting for another XP group to open up. But let's say I wanted to play a white mage. Let's say I felt like playing a healer today. I could just go into my Mog House, talk to my little buddy over here, and we could change jobs. Change my main job. We'll go white mage. Support job. I'd probably stay black mage, and that would be totally fine. And now, with, you know, the click of 2 buttons, or however many it was, I am now a level 63 white mage and a level 26 black mage. My black mage is underleveled. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But it's, you know, that easy to completely change your playstyle without having to switch characters. And basically what this system allows you to do is constant progression. Every single action or every single goal you work towards on a character becomes something that stays with your character. For instance, there are maps and secret areas that require keys and airport passes and faction levels. In Final Fantasy XIV, there's going to be achievements and things like that. All those things you're constantly working towards, and once you obtain them with your character, you never have to go back and do that again. But you can still totally change your playstyle if it gets boring. And I love, 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 love that concept. I'm so surprised that in the last 10 years, I haven't seen any other MMOs pick up on that concept. I mean, it's so good. It's like the best part of Final Fantasy XI. But they're making it much more easier to do. No longer do you have to come back to your player housing in Final Fantasy XIV. You can simply switch your weapons. So let me see if I have a weapon here in my storage. I'm sure I do. What do we have in here? Man, I haven't opened this thing up in forever. That's a staff. That won't work. I can't use that. I probably won't be able to use any of these now that I'm actually thinking about it. Come on, I have to have some weapon here. Man, I've been playing nothing but casters. So I have nothing but stabs everywhere. But anyway, let's pretend that this is a lance, shall we? So let's say we're in Final Fantasy XIV right now. I'm playing as a summoner. This beautiful boy right here, I'm playing as a summoner. And I wanted to switch over to a lancer. Well, let's equip my fake lance. And done. I have just switched my class. Congratulations. Final Fantasy XIV job system is super fucking easy. And I really, really, really am looking forward to that. I really love games that encourage you to stay with one character. Let's see. I'll go back to that staff. What are my jobs? White mage, black mage? Cool. So, one of the cool things about white mages, and this is completely unrelated, you know, completely unrelated to the topic I was just talking about. One of the cool things about white mages in Final Fantasy XIV was the fact that they are able to teleport around the world, and for a long, long time, they were the fastest means of transportation. So if you wanted to get somewhere and you needed to get there fast, you would contact a white mage that was in your town. And I loved that idea. The fact that you have to rely on the community in order to get around. I played Vanguard Saga of Heroes for quite some time. And when the game was initially released, there weren't any boats that could take you to different continents. So you had to rely on players. And I was one of the first people on the server to have like a gigantic ship. And I could take people, I would taxi people around for like large amounts of money to all the different continents. And the white mage is pretty similar. There used to be people that would stand in Juneau, which was the central hub at the time. And they would just ask in chat constantly if anyone needed a teleport. And they charge like 2,000 gold or whatever. And then you could teleport people around to these crags. And these are so damn cool. Let me get away from it so you guys can see this thing in scale. But the player who gets teleported would have had to come to these first and grab a crystal from one of the broken crystals, a crystal fragment. Isn't that cool? Just walking around in the middle of the world and all of a sudden this pops up over the horizon. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Craig. I thought it was awesome. You know, 11 years ago. I was a little fucking kid then. But, you know, Final Fantasy XI, it's a good game, but it has very, very slow combat, and it's all menu-based. I mean, if you look up at the top left right now, that's a set of macros. This is a set of macros. And other than that, in order to cast a spell, I have to cycle through all of these in order to find the spell that I want to cast. Tell it to target that enemy. You know. It's a slow system. It's a system that worked on consoles and PC back in the day. But it's definitely a pretty slow system now. Let me get a chocobo and I can show you guys how the XP works in this game right now. I don't know if anyone cares, but hey, I'm here already, so... Where is that chocobo guy? Chocobo guy, where you at? Okay. Come here, baby girl. I want to rent one of your chocobos. So this is how mounts worked way back in the day, the pre-WoW days. You had to come over and talk to one of these guys in order to get a mount, to get around a little bit faster. And the chocobo license, this is a perfect example of why I like single character MMO games like this. The chocobo license, back in the day, I believe it took 8 hours to get. You had to go to Juneau and feed this chocobo that was sick in the stables in order to gain its trust, and you had to feed him once every game day, which is once an hour in real life. And if you missed a fucking time, you were fucked and you had to start over. I think that's how it worked. But I remember doing that on this character, and I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again. Like, it was terrible. It was terrible. But things can last longer when you only have to do them once. I mean, I don't have to do that quest again on every single one of my alts. I just did it. And also, any gear you acquire on this character becomes infinitely more useful because you can always use it later. Like, say I got a really good warrior weapon, I can always just use it later on down the road. So we are going into the Gutskin Mines, I believe is how it's pronounced. It's probably wrong. It's not even marked on the map, so you have to be a baller to even know about this place. And we can go in here, and this is one of the more popular XP areas in the game right now. Now, both Final Fantasy MMOs are going to be very, very group-based. You're going to always do better with a group. You're always going to do better with a team. But Final Fantasy XI was a lot more intense in that matter. You could barely do anything without a group. In order to level up at all, in the early days and up to, I don't know, not very long ago, you had to come in here and completely rely on finding a group, which means people would be looking for a group for quite a long amount of time. In fact, that little Mithra back there, the one with the looking for group sign, I teleported her out here before I started recording. Just to help her out. I'm nice like that. But now people come into places like these, and you can access a book. And you can actually level down with your group. So I'm level, I don't know, 63 right now. So I could go down to any level that was in my group. Like, this is like a level 10 to 15 or 10 to 21 XP area. And I would be able to group here just fine, as long as I had someone in the group to mentor down to. So that's kind of how they have kept grouping alive in this game, I guess. Because with the dwindling population, they had to find some way to bring everyone back together. Now, unfortunately, what that means is you're going to be spending a lot of times in the same places for a long time. And unfortunately, I don't feel like I like that system anywhere near as much. I mean, half of the fun of going out and grouping before was the simple fact that you could explore the world in the process too. I mean, you would go to fresh new places, you get new scenery when you were when you were mindlessly like waiting for your TP to get to 100 so you could do a weapon skill. You know, this video started out as like something totally different from what it's turning into. I feel like I'm okay with that. I feel like I'm okay with that. So I'm going to show you guys my summoner for no reason. I'm really, really proud of my summoner. I guess that's the main reason. And I'll show you the pets that I have available to me. And then I guess we'll wrap this video up because I've been rambling for 12 minutes now. This is what happens when I'm up too late and don't have enough caffeine. I just ramble on about stuff. Area to exit it from, please. So, the Summoner class. Pain in the fucking ass to unlock. You had to, first of all, find a carbuncle ruby, which was super fucking hard to do. They were a very, very, very rare drop chance. But when you found one, it was amazing. You had to take that ruby to a specific location in Pallytime Plateau, which is a nearby zone. I could actually show you guys if I felt like it, but I don't. Oh, I could have teleported there. Damn it, I'm stupid. And after you did that, you had to witness every type of weather event in the game, which meant that you had to travel all over the place to areas you've never been to before, more than likely. Areas that are very, very dangerous and probably over your level. But you had to experience these weather patterns in order to learn all of the tricks of the summoner. And some of my best memories of this game were getting a small group together of people that were in my link shell and like doing covert ops and shit and trying to get like these weather patterns. It was really fun. It was really, really fun. After that, you go back to the Pallytime Plateau, you unlock the job, and you start out at level 1 again. At level 30, if your reputation was high enough in each of the cities, you could go to each of these cities and do a fight with an avatar. If you failed the fight, go fuck yourself. You can come back later. But they were really, really difficult, and they took a lot of work. Not only to prepare for the fight, but also getting your fame up in each of these cities. It was a really, really hard task. So for that reason, I think Summoner was one of the most fulfilling jobs in order to unlock. I mean, everything I have, I worked for. It wasn't just given to me. I didn't have to buy a scroll. Everything I have, I worked for. So this is Carbuncle. This is the first pet you start out with. He's pretty cute. He has the lowest mana cost out of all of them, so if I wanted to switch over to my Carbuncle Mitts, he actually wouldn't cost me very much mana at all to keep out. But he's pretty cute, you know, he's a blue rat. There was a mod going around for a while that would replace him with a Mew, the Pokemon Mew. The first avatar I got was Ifrit, because he was my favorite, because my first Final Fantasy I ever played was Final Fantasy X, and Ifrit was so badass in that game. I hope that's correct. I hope that's correct. But here we go. Here's Ifrit. He looks amazing. I think I actually prefer how Ifrit looks here compared to Final Fantasy XIV. But you know, I can send him in to attack stuff. That's a book. Don't attack the book, Ifrit. Go attack that fish. And he'll kind of float over there and he'll wreck that fish's world and then he'll come back. Probably my favorite one is Titan, because he's just a man in a thong and he doesn't give a shit. Obviously, he's the earth element. He's like, what's up? I'm in a thong. I just came out of nowhere. I don't give a shit. I just got a new weapon skill, I guess, equivalent. I got a new ability for him to use. You guys should see how, like, fucking ridiculous this is. Come here, Rabbit. Rabbit, don't you run. You're gonna die. I'm gonna eat you. Titan. Titan, use Mountain Buster. Yeah, he just hit for 2,000 damage. No big deal. Then you have the most worthless piece of shit ever, Leviathan, who probably looks the coolest out of all of these, but he has like no practical use. He hits like a noodle. He kind of looks like a noodle too. Then I have Garuda, who is already confirmed. Garuda, Ifrit, and Titan are all confirmed to be in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if you can summon them or not. There's some controversy on that right now. But Garuda's a fucking boss. She can give haste to everyone in your party. She's like, hey, what's up? I got haste for you. That's amazing. Then we have Shiva, who is the Frost avatar. I just got a party invitation. Probably not for what I wanted. There's Shiva. She is the Ice avatar. I remember her being particularly difficult for me to unlock as well.
Incoming tab.
And then, last but not least, I'm not too sure how to actually say his name, but you have Rama, the lightning guy. And he can go attack stuff with lightning and stuff. I used him, Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan in my Limit Break video. Well, there you go, guys. That's been me rambling for 17 minutes. I know this video probably won't interest everyone, but you know, I thought I'd share some stuff. Because like I said at the end of the last video, my channel, or my YouTube career, all started just by me sharing what's going on in video games. And I like doing that. It makes me feel good. It's like nice to look back on, you know what I mean? But there's going to be more Final Fantasy XIV videos on the way, especially as we get closer to the official release. The NDA is going to be lifted, and I'm going to share all kinds of videos about that. Oh, so few XP to go. I need 13,000 more XP. I'll be level 75 in like an hour of grouping. It's going to be amazing. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. If you've watched this entire video, thank you. And I don't know why you did, but I'm going to give you a word to say in the comments. I haven't done this. I haven't done this in a while either. I'm getting all the invites. I need to hurry up and wrap this video up. The word that you need to place in your comment, if you had watched my rambling for this long, is chalupa. Yes. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching this completely irrelevant video. Okay, bye.